We are live, but
We're
I'm
live.
not set up. So it's another one of those bloopers.
Right. Keep stacking them.
You'll see the countdown in a few seconds. Good evening, everyone. Apologies for the lateness. That's all on me. That's on no one else. So yeah, that's all on me. But we are here. Yeah, we're here. So we have two guests this evening. One that's normally always here with me, apart from the last time. Because he's a very busy man on the videos. Kyle, how you doing?
I'm good. Cheers, Sam. How are you?
Yeah, it's all good. It's a bit crazy
Good,
today,
good.
but we're here. And not his first time on the channel. He's had quite a few appearances now. Posh, how are you?
There's been quite a few appearances, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm doing very good, thank you. Good to see you both, and good to chat about the wrestles. I do now have the Wrestle Dogs hoodie, where it says the dogs have the wrestle in them. But I already wore that this week, and it's in the wash, so I've not got it with me today.
Thought you was going to show it and everything.
Next time, I promise. Next time.
Devon is also here in spirit. He did try and join us, but his lunch break expired by the time. Oh my god, this is a turnout for the books. I don't know if he's taking the mic or whether it's actually really good. Is it really bad?
It's actually good. It's actually good right now. Let's not jinx it though.
Oh my god, that's
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, no,
I speak. I'm in big trouble.
I've changed positions in the house, so the room downstairs has now become my hosting room. Not upstairs anymore because I gave up with the Wi-Fi extender. So quite a lot's happened. Oh my god, that's another blooper. That's a little bird.
Nice.
Windy pops.
Got to go with it. These things just happen. So yeah, a lot's happened since we were last here. Basically, the last time we spoke about WrestleMania, we only had a few matches, and now we have basically all of them. Me and Carl were having a conversation today as to whether all the matches have been announced yet. I'm not quite sure there is, because I still think there's some space for sort of because we've got all like the big title matches and stuff, but we haven't had any like filler matches that are like mid-card matches, apart from like Jay and Jimmy. That's obviously not a mid-card match. It's what I'm really excited about, actually.
I'm excited,
but more of the non-title matches that yeah, I don't really know who goes in there. I'm hoping. I don't know about you, but I'm really confused about a couple of people that we had at the Rumble and we haven't seen since. Jade Cargill is one of them. She hasn't been in any TV really. Well, she hasn't, I don't think, since the Rumble. Andrade has had a match or two, but hasn't really been involved at all. So I see them with matches, but I'm not sure how they do that, because they can't just suddenly turn up one week and say, I've got a match at Mania. So a bit bizarre, that one. But yeah, these are just my random thoughts. So first of all, since Carl wasn't here when we did the predictions results, I've been informed that I have to announce them again, just for
I'm not
kindness
sure.
sake.
I'm not sure why. You never know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, so I'm on strict instructions. This has to go first in the show. So if you haven't caught the last stream, well, you're in for a treat because basically what happened was there was a joint winner of the first predictions.
Who's that?
I thought about. I thought about if there was a way that we could. I thought about it. That's just startled me completely. So
He's been kidnapped.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was myself and the guests won the predictions contest. Carl unfortunately lost an L there. Might be back.
Why he's disappeared? Oh no, he's back.
So, you think there can be more than one champion? No. There's only one champion. Wait, that's the wrong way around. There's only one champion. And that's me. Heel Batman. And I will be the winner for the WrestleMania WrestleDog Prediction Championship. Mark my words, Samuel. Mark my words.
You might have to tell him the results again.
That's just been laid out on the table, but I hate to inform you, you did lose the last one.
I did. I'll admit that. But WrestleMania, that's the big one. That's the one everyone cares about. I'm taking that.
It's the reincarnation of Drew McIntyre in our stream.
Heel Batman is his name. Creative, I know. So creative. Devil Tackle likes it.
Devon's excited by Devon's excited by Heel Batman, but I'm not sure me and the guests are that impressed, to be honest.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by it.
It was laid. The fighting talk's been laid down, but I'm not going to sit down easily. I plan to have a title reign as long as Roman's. So
carry on with the show,
we
Sam.
have actually
it's
also
all right.
got a.
I'm gonna chill like this all day.
We actually have got a new name in the chat. Saying let's go. I don't know whether that's saying let's go to.
That's Devil Taco.
That's saying let's go to the stream.
That's someone I just met recently, actually. A Twitch streamer. Go check his Twitch out, boys.
Oh, ace. Well, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Devon, looks like Heel Batman's got a fan club. Best heel on the show.
Devon knows.
Right then. We shall get back into after that slight interruption there. We'll
Sorry
get
about
back into the show. Yeah, see, Heel Batman's a good character now, but will Heel Batman still be Heel Batman if he loses WrestleMania as well?
Who knows? Anything can happen on WrestleDogs. Check out next time. Wait, it's not the end of the show yet, boys. Don't go. Don't go. That was like the credits or something. No. We're not done yet.
Heel Batman merch is brewing now. I think Devon will be the first buyer of the Heel Batman merch.
That's a shout.
I'll buy it.
That's a shout. Let's make it happen.
Right. That we can. So I'm going to start things differently this time. I think normally we talk about WWE first, but I'm not actually going to do that this week because I'm going to give AEW credit this week because during this really tough period, what must be a really tough period for them, they pulled it all out this week on the Dynamite show. Not just the main event that we'll speak about, but the rest I also thought was really impressive. I'm just going to quickly talk through some of the things. So Kingston was beaten for the I should have written this down. Kingston had a title which was the AEW. See, this is where my notes have failed me today because basically Eddie Kingston got beat. He lost his title, and now Okada's the champion. I believe it's the Continental title.
There he is there. There he is.
Which is a match. I unfortunately knew this before I went in to watch the match because of Instagram. It always ruins it for me. But yeah, this was a title change straight off the bat. They actually copied Raw this week and did a 3-hour show. Hook also beat Chris Jericho, which was a little bit unexpected. But yeah, I think it's good because, again, it's something that you wouldn't have thought would happen. And then the other main talking point before I go to the main event was that Ospreay spoke again. I think he spoke the last 3 or 4 Dynamites in a row now. And you can just see how much the crowd already taken to him. And I'm really pleased that they're giving him like a lot of airtime. And they're realizing the talent that he has, not just in the ring, but outside of the ring. So basically it was running up to him and Daniel Bryan's match. Daniel Bryan had a match and basically came out at the end and said that that Ospreay isn't fit to lace up his boots, which is the most ludicrous statement in the world, because that he certainly is. I'm just before I go on, I'm going to bring this comment up.
What a question, bruv.
Is Ospreay's accent fake? Whenever he speaks, it sounds like it physically hurts him to talk. No, that is genuinely how he talks all the time. He is from London. Just a little bit of an education.
Essex, isn't it?
Essex.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's in the southeast.
But yeah, to
Essex, Kent, it's all the same.
Yeah, so Essex, Kent, London, it's basically all the same, basically, but technically it's not. So yeah, when he says "bruv" and the rest of the crowd say it in an American accent, that they try and sound like an English accent. Yes, that is just how he talks. I can 100% confirm that. So yeah, it doesn't hurt him to speak. That is just genuinely how he talks. And Lee says
he
that
wrestles like him too.
and Will speak the same. I now expect Lee to use "bruv" in every other sentence during his streams.
And Lee is just as good of a wrestler as Will Ospreay as well.
Devil Taco also said that Tony. Yeah. Tony Khan has wasted no time getting a belt on Okada. It's basically, I think it's like his debut was a couple of weeks ago or last week or something like that. So yeah, Ospreay's promo basically said that he wasn't fit to lace up Daniel Bryan's boots, and then he referenced a little bit to his time in Japan. Stood to one side, put his arm on Tony Khan's shoulder, basically said something along the lines of, you think that I'm not fit to lace up your boots? Well, the problem is that your shoes are too small, or something along the lines like that. And basically said, if you don't think I'm fit to wrestle or lace up your boots, I will lay it down and wrestle the guy that you fought last week, and basically show you that I'm fit to wrestle you, basically. I thought that was a great segment. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased because Will Ospreay could do anything, and I would think it's amazing. But yeah, that was that. Certainly looking forward to that Daniel Bryan match. That will be just, I don't know. I don't think I can put the words to how incredible that's going to be. It's one of those matches that you didn't think would ever happen, but we've got to a stage that it's happening, and it's just going to be, I don't know. I think I'm not going to be able to watch that the day after. I'm going to have to stay up to watch that because I just can't have that ruined. I need to watch it and not have a clue what's going on. So yeah, that is 90% of what happened on AEW. And then we come to the main event. I'm actually going to put it on Kyle for this, and I want to gain your thoughts because obviously people listen to me speak a lot of the time. So I'm going to mix it up because obviously you saw the main event. I want to know your thoughts on it.
Well, for the most part, I thought it was good. It had me entertained. Obviously, there's probably a bit of bias in there for loving like Edge, Adam Copeland, and Christian. Like, it's just a match everyone's wanted for years. Like, it was bound to be pretty good, right? But there were a few bits in there that were a bit like AEW all over. I don't want to say too much bad about it, to be honest. But yeah, it had me entertained, Sam. I loved it, mate. I loved it. Like, I thought it was great. Like, just because Edge and Christian finishing it off. It had Edge winning. I'm just gonna call him Edge because that's who it is to me. Yeah. But he had Spike come out. I love that they had a weapon with a name. I haven't seen that since Barbie. So I love that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say really. I loved it personally.
Yeah, I would fully agree with that. I do see what you mean, though. I know you didn't want to go into it, but I'm going to go into it. I think I've got to. There was a few spots where I think they knew what they were trying to do, but it didn't come off well. What I remember was when Christian went off the top rope and put Edge through a table, but it looked really messed up. And suddenly, after a table shot, Edge was cut open so much. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, not sure that table shot is going to make your head that cut up and bleeding that much. So I think they effed up there big time because it didn't look right.
Yeah, he is there. Look at him. That's him at the end. Whoa.
It looked really bizarre, but I actually thought there was a great story to the match as well. Moments that were genius. I like the little bit where he took the Bruin shirt off a guy and put it on Christian, and then he took the Toronto hockey team's jersey and put it on himself. I thought that was quite cool, like fan interaction. There was a certain bit that I found really cool, but I think they kind of messed it up a little bit. It was when he brought out the ice hockey goal. I thought it was going to be something crazy, like slamming him on the top of it, or he just kind of threw him into the net. And I was just thinking, oh, that's not really going to do any damage to anyone. It wouldn't do any damage to a fly. So it seemed pretty pointless to me, that bit. But I quite liked it because he went off into the back, didn't he? And he was like, oh my God, what's he going to get? And then he got an ice hockey goal. And you're like, oh, I've never seen that before. So that was really cool. And then I thought the bit at the end was amazing, where everyone kind of ganged up on Christian, and then they had him tied to one of the ring posts, didn't they? And yeah, he got this weapon out, and he absolutely smacked him straight in the gonads with loads of spikes. I think to myself,
doing his best Joe Root impression, like that.
Nasty.
And fine by David Gower.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
See, this is what you get with these live streams. You get these little moments of magic, like heel Batman and the cricket.
I don't know where he came from.
Of, but yeah, and then the match ended because Christian said, "I quit," when the spikes were going to go through Christian's head. And honestly, if Edge had been given the option to do that, I'm pretty sure he would have done that, because you can see, you could see that given the option, if Tony Khan had said, you know what, stick that through his head, he would have gone, yeah, okay then. So I was a little bit disappointed when he said I quit, to be fair. I was a little bit disappointed because I just wanted to see how far it could go. But yeah, Posh, I think I've got to kind of what I wanted to say. Any further thoughts on...
I also saw the match, and I thought it was very good, very chaotic. Again, I can't say anything else because I think both you and Carl have already said most of the part of the match, really. But it was very good. It was great, seeing everyone get their comeuppance on Christian at the end, and Edge doing his best impression of a cricketer there with that big old whack in the the weapon there. But no, it was very good, and the finish was better than their match at was it World's End, where I didn't like that much. But yeah, it was better, and it was very good, and good to see the father of the year, Christian, getting his just desserts there.
I don't think, if that match had carried on, I don't think he'd have been a father to any more kids, to be honest.
Very true.
Very true. Yeah, that would have done some lasting damage. But I also, so at the end of my notes, I just want to make note of this. The end of my notes, there's two lines. It says, "Kick to the balls" and "spike to the balls." So there was a kick that happened on Edge as well, wasn't there? That just went straight up there, and again, that would have been painful. So yeah, that was AEW.
That was fantastic.
Lee believes really enjoyed the fans singing. Devon thinks that the match should have happened 3 months ago. Yeah, I suppose so. And then Devon's working on his English accent. So yeah, that will be
which
one?
The next.
It's quite a lot of accents in the UK. Is he going to be a Yorkshireman or a London? Hey, I'm Devon.
Hot Fuzz.
So yeah, that's going to be a segment that's going to be a segment of the show next time. It's just going to be Devon speaks English.
Do you know what? Devil Taco has just said
yeah.
something that was going through my mind, sort of. Like the bit at the end, you said you really liked Sam. Like I liked it as well. That it was kind of a good way to end it off. But it's like, where did these come from? Why did they come? Like maybe it's me missing what's happened within AEW, but why did they specifically come out to save Edge or help Edge?
I think it was because they had feuds with Christian in the past, and it's like, you know,
yeah, it's just getting
chickens coming home to roost, that kind of thing.
Yeah, fair enough. I knew there was going to be a reason. There had to be, otherwise it was just silly. Sorry, Sam, if I cut you off, by the way.
So yeah, that was AEW. Devon, I cannot wait to hear this if this is actually true.
Ron Weasley.
Devon is going to sound like Ron Weasley, so yeah, I want to give AEW credit for a time that must be really tricky for them. They did pull out everything that they possibly had for this show, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So Raw was really good this week, and I don't say that very often. It was very good, and I did watch 90% of the show, which I haven't done since I was in. I think I have to go back to the times when there was DX and Rated R, and yeah, those sort of times from the last time I watched all of a Raw. So I was pleasantly surprised this week because there was more promos than there were matches, which again was a massive surprise. I've made a little mistake on my notes. Again, here's another one of those bloopers. So we've got a new wrestler, actually. Jimmy Uso is actually fighting Jat, not Jay. So it's Jimmy and Jat. They're brothers and they're facing each other. So it started off with those two. Kind of staring each other down as they do. They didn't really say much, but I don't think they needed to be honest. I just think them face to face in the ring really set it up really well. And it's one that I'm really excited for. Actually, more so, I think, than some of the title matches. I just think this is going to be one of those matches that, little bit like we had something very similar last year with Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. It's very similar to that. And that was incredible just because of the spectacle. I think this is going to be a little bit the same. This has been building up. WWE have been trying to build this up for absolutely ages. And it's kind of over the last few weeks come out of nowhere, which is fantastic because I was calling for it. It's almost like they watch these streams because a couple of weeks ago I called for that to be a match. I said that I didn't think it would happen because I didn't think they had enough time to build it up. But yeah, I think Triple H himself must be watching the streams. That's the only thing I could think of.
Oh,
yeah. Because a couple of weeks later, so yeah, I'm going to give myself credit for that one. The reason why Jimmy and Jay are fighting at Mania is just because I said it, and then Triple H thought, "Yeah, do you know what?"
Oh, I just stubbed my toe.
Injury.
Oh, heel Batman's not having a good day.
Heel Batman's not so heel anymore. He stubs his toe, and that finishes him off.
Oh.
Disappointing. So, we had. I'm going to do all these at once, actually. So we had quite a few qualifying matches this week for the tag 6-man tag team ladder match for the tag champs, and I'm really excited about it. Certainly really excited about it now, having known so far who's in it. So yeah, I'm going to go into that. So first one was DIY. They won their qualifying match. The second one was Miz and R-Truth. And the third one was the New Day. So I think that makes the field so far absolutely incredible. Got so much talent in there. We was talking a little bit in our little group chat. And I think DIY are going to be incredible in this match. Yeah, I just think it's going to be fantastic. Going to be one of those matches I think that I'm certainly really looking forward to. And that follows on a little bit to my any other business section, because I want to ask your opinions on this, because I know we spoke about it, and I think everyone's got a lot of opinions about it. So this week, during the Raw, some special guests were spotted in the crowd.
During the Raw?
Yeah, some special guests were spotted in the crowd, be it one of the Hardys. So I want to throw it out there because I'm a little bit split on this. I've got reasons for and against, and I think quite a lot of us will be in the same boat, but I want to ask your opinions. I'm going to go to Posh first. If the surprise was that Matt and Jeff were in this match, would you be happy about it? Because it would, yeah. Would you be happy about it? One, because it would take away someone's opportunity to have a Mania moment as well. So it's kind of a double-ended question, to be honest.
So, famous last words. I don't think Matt and Jeff are going to be returning to WWE anytime soon. I'm not sure what their contract status is with AEW. I do know Matt Hardy was in the crowd at Raw, but I would rather look. I do like the Hardy Boys, but I'd rather they didn't. I think they're. I think it's time for the present to take control of Mania rather than the past, if that makes sense. There are I think there are two other spaces in the New Day, Miz and Truth, DIY, Judgment Day. So there's two vacancies available, and they'll take place on SmackDown. I think. I don't think we're gonna see the Hardy Boys return at Mania. That's my prediction, and I don't really want them to, because there's plenty of other tag teams that can get a WrestleMania moment in that particular match, rather than just having a nostalgia act, going, "Oh look, they're back." Just focus on the present this time.
Yeah, I want to hit it across to Kyle. The same question before I give my thoughts.
I love the Hardy Boys, but I just don't want to see him get hurt. I think it would be it'd be a better move to go to WWE, but a ladder match. How are you going to control Jeff from doing anything crazy in a ladder match? You can't. So I think maybe not in that match, but Devon has just said in the chat, maybe they should retire with WWE. They should go back. I think it's a better place for them as it stands right now, a safer place for them. And that's where I am with it.
Yeah. I again, it's one of these things that I think obviously WWE have tried before and failed miserably at. So based on that, I don't think it would be right. I think we're past the point where we need Matt and Jeff to come back into the match, because we've so many tag teams that are insane, and it's probably the things that's not getting utilized enough is the tag division because of the title situation and stuff like that. So it's just a bit weird. I think probably what's happened is they've just turned up to a Raw. Everyone's gone, oh my God, it might be happening. But they've just probably turned up to a Raw to endure a Raw because they're in that city or whatever. So it's probably completely unrelated, but obviously everybody goes nuts.
I think what plays a part in it, Sam, is
I personally
don't. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay. Sorry, I'm not being rude, but I think what plays a part in that is that there was so much heat between the Hardys and AEW, with what's happening. Obviously, we saw what happened with Sammy Guevara. That's how you say his name, right?
Yeah.
We saw what happened with him and Jeff and Matt when Matt got pissed off, and even with with what they're doing with them, they're not happy with it. Apparently, what we're hearing from the internet. So I think that plays a big part in why people believe that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that obviously happens whenever. Unfortunately, we're at this social media phase where every single wrestler that ever turns up to a wrestling show and sits in the crowd has to have something to do with the brand that they're watching. Sometimes you've just got to take sometimes you've got to take your excitement out and just say, do you know what? They are just wrestlers. And sometimes they do just want to go and watch wrestling in their spare time, because a lot of the time they won't be able to do that. So when they do have some time off, they probably say, do you know what? There's a wrestling show near. Let's just go and see it. But yeah, again, I think it was good to get the opinions of us all, but I just think that, yes, it would be good, but in all seriousness, the titles aren't going to go to them, even if they miraculously came into the match. So for me, it's just kind of a waste of a spot. That's no disrespect to what they've done for wrestling, because as we know, they're one of the greatest tag teams ever. I don't think anybody's got any kind of debate on that. I think that's just something that it is. So yeah, I feel a bit bad for saying they shouldn't enter the match, but yeah, I've got my reasons behind it. So the other things that was happened was just hyping up all the other matches, really. So Gunther and Sammy signed a contract. Again, I don't really know where I sit with this match, because yes, I really like Sami Zayn, but in a realistic world, can I actually see Sami Zayn defeat Gunther? And that's a hard no for me, because it just doesn't. They could have done. It annoys me a little bit. I don't know about you guys. It annoys me a little bit because I think they could have done so much with this match. I think there's so many people that actually you would have said, you know what, they've got an outside chance of beating Gunther. I think you've got so many of those that could have been put in the match, but just haven't been. So for me, that's kind of a waste of a match. I don't really know what you guys think about it. But it's just one of those ones that when we come around to doing our predictions, everybody's going to go with the same thing.
Yeah, I think I've come to that realization that they're trying to do. They want to do Sami Zayn's underdog story again, but that was kind of last year. They had that opportunity last year, but I think that sort of thing has been and gone now. I think. Look, I know I said it would have been a realistic choice, and it will be a good match. Don't get me wrong, but I think, I think Barry said it was it last week, 2 weeks ago we were last on, and I kind of agree with him now. I think Chad Gable probably would have been a better kind of build, better kind of storyline for Mania. The match would be good between Gunter and Sammy, but I think there could have been other people worthy of that, like Gable, for example.
Yeah, I just think when it comes to these, two long reigns that we have on the product at the minute, for me, because they've been champions that long, there has to be a credible change of title, and I'm pretty sure that's what WWE's thinking is as well. So, for example, with Roman Reigns, you could say, actually, if Cody goes on to win it and finishes the story, that would be where you would go, oh yeah, do you know what? Actually, that's a really good change. Whereas if suddenly Sami Zayn went and beat Gunther, I'm pretty sure everybody would be like, well, that title reign of Gunther, longest IC title holder, is kind of in the mud a little bit because of being dethroned by Sami Zayn. That's again no disrespect to Sami Zayn, but it's a little bit like I put that back to like when Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker. Like, yes, it was a oh my god moment. Undertaker beat him, but actually, the more I think about it,
better options.
Yeah, the more I think about it, it puts shade on on Undertaker's WrestleMania wins before that, because he's fought so many like amazing wrestlers, but the one to dethrone and stop his streak was Brock Lesnar. So I think you've got to be really careful with things like this, because I think you can overshadow the story that you're building if you don't end it in the correct way. So yeah, I think those two things. Yeah. So each time, so basically what I'm trying to say is that when you have these long title reigns, every time you've got a pay-per-view, you need to make it a credible kind of, oh yeah, do you know what? If these two wrestle and whatever happens, that's a good way to change that title. So I just feel that they were running out of options as to who Gunther could face. So they was like, oh yeah, let's just put someone in that we want to give a match to. And unfortunately, I think that's Sami Zayn. And I think probably even Sami Zayn knows that it's just going to be a WrestleMania match and nothing more. But yeah, I've just kind of had a long disinfection there of WWE's booking. Again, if Triple H is watching, I don't apologise because I'm just speaking my mind. But yeah, Kyle, any further thoughts?
Sorry.
It's all good.
No, not really. No. I don't think so.
Okay. So the other two bits, the other three bits to mention. So Cody, obviously, I don't know. I think they're in this on the build up to this now. I think they're sort of slowly running out of ideas as to what to do next. Because I think they've started the whole. Yeah, I think they've done their best bits of promo already. So I think they're now struggling with what to do next. So basically what happened was Cody was bad-mouthing The Rock, saying he's got, I quote, little dick syndrome, and that The Rock is just Roman's dick. We spoke about this last week when we had Barry on, and yeah, last week was kind of the bit where it got a little bit silly, but I can see why they did it when Barry explained it to me. But it just struck me this week as, yeah, you're really running out of ideas, and now you're bringing out all this. It's just like, it's just a little bit dross now and a little bit boring. Yeah, what do you guys think of it?
Look, I thought the promo that Cody did was very good, and then he just said that The Rock had a small willy, and that just kind of took the heat away a little bit, which it's a childish thing, and this is a big feud to that's happening. So I wasn't a big fan of that line there, but apart from that, I'm still looking forward to the match. I think it's going to be really excellent, and I think the build majority of the time has been very good.
I'd agree, really.
Yeah,
I'd
I do
pretty
think.
much agree
I
with
do
that.
think.
Sorry, Sam. I'd pretty much agree with
Yeah,
Posh
I do
there.
think it has. I think this. Yeah. Yeah, no, I do. Because I was going to kind of say, like, yes, I'm still excited for it, but I think, yeah, they're kind of wondering now what to do next. They've pulled out all the best promo bits in the last couple of weeks, so now I think, I don't know, I don't see where it goes. I think they need to calm it down a little bit. I don't think they need to center any more shows around the feud, to be honest. Because I think everybody's excited enough. I don't think they need to go out and kind of, say that each other's got a little willy, and that, I don't think that needs to happen now. I think it just needs to be left as it is now and get everybody on board of all the other matches now, because obviously everybody's on board for this main event anyway. Basically, the other thing that happened is Paul Heyman came down face to face with Roman on Raw at the weekend with no bloodline. Cody'd be on his own too. Whether that happens or not is yet to be seen. But I don't really know. At the time, it was billed like, oh my God, it's something amazing that that Roman is going to be on his own and not with the bloodline, and Cody was going to be on his own. And I was thinking, well, it's not really that exciting. But yeah, that was that. The other thing was a Seth and Drew promo, which I thought was really good, actually. I really liked a bit when Seth just stopped for a minute, and he announced to the crowd that he was Seth freaking Rollins and he's a spotlight junkie. I thought that was wonderful. I thought that was, I've just thought both of them came across really well in this promo. Seth in particular, because I think Drew's already done his work in terms of promo. But I think
Drew's
this is one of those
ones. Brilliant.
Oh yeah, no, I think in the last couple of weeks he's been kind of building up his story. So I think it was kind of time for Seth to have his own little bit in this story. So yeah, that's one that I'm really excited for, actually. So yeah, it's another one. That I'm really excited for. And then the main event of Raw was, I put myself notes, but I've now got no recollection of who the match was.
The last woman standing match, Becky Lynch and Nia Jax.
That's the one. It was, yeah. It's come back to me now. So I just thought that was a great match. I thought that was a great way to end Raw. I do think the kind of Nia Jax and Becky Lynch just randomly wrestling every now and again is getting a bit silly. But I did really enjoy the match for what it was. So the big moment of the match, I think, was the leg drop from the top of the ladder through the announce table. Although the only criticism I have of this match is that Nia Jax was rolling onto tables and not making it very realistic. She was making it very obvious that she was going to take bumps. So, like, normally when it's a match like this, everything's quite natural. But unfortunately, Nia Jax kind of just kept rolling herself onto the table. Like Becky Lynch wasn't even having to like put her on the table. She kind of just accidentally fell and slipped onto the table. And I'm thinking, could have done that a little bit better. But yeah. Devil Taco says a forgettable match. Clearly, yeah, it was. I'm gonna give it a little bit more credit than that. Normally, just a singles match between two wrestlers. So actually, with it being a last woman standing match, I was actually really pleased for that, rather than just a normal match. But now, I'm sure you've all had enough of hearing me speak and dissing WWE, but also really be completely truthful and call it how I see it. So we are going to cut into something that is quite revolutionary, actually. It's like a segment of the show where things are going to be done a little differently. Someone has been waiting in the wings for his moment. For his moment to go through. I tasked him this morning. I just sent the message to him and I said, as I was doing my notes, as I was planning my set for tomorrow at a charity event, as I was doing other things, I thought to myself, I need a bit of help here. So that's when I called on the one and only Lee,
my
who
tag
will
team
now
partner.
talk to us about who.
He completely no-sold it as well.
It's almost honestly, it's almost as if Will Ospreay. Yeah, it's almost as if Will Ospreay is actually in this stream. It was that alike. So basically, this part of the segment, this part of the show, Lee is going to talk us through the two people that have been announced for the Hall of Fame since our last show. Before I just speak a load more nonsense, I'm going to hand it over to Lee. I'm going to take myself off the screen. So,
fair enough. Thank you very much.
He took the wrong person off the screen.
Unbelievable. Taking away my spotlight. Unbelievable. So, here we go. So, I'll tell you what, I'll say this before I get going. When Sam did ask me to do this segment, I did wonder how old does he think I am? Because we are firstly talking about one Thunderbolt Patterson, who's started his career in 1964. Here he is. It's me and my boy now.
Well, I'll have to. I think I've been instructed to give you the spotlight if I can. I don't know how I can remove myself.
There we go. Okay, fair enough. And then there was one. Oh, this is difficult live, everyone. So yes, Patterson started his wrestling career in 1969 for Big Time Wrestling in Michigan and in Ohio. So I'll be honest with you, all right. So I've had to do my research down here because, despite my young good look, I'm not quite, as old as watching him live, unfortunately. In the 1970s exactly, actually, he feuded with one Jose Lothario. This is the guy that trained Shawn Michaels, don't you know? They fought for the Florida version of the NWA Brass Knuckles Championship. That's one that I'm extremely familiar with. I'm sure you agree. Became the NWA Florida Heavyweight Champion later after defeating Bruiser Brody. Now, there's a name that I'm sure will be familiar with some of you. little bit later on, maybe is more notable, Patterson, for some of the stuff that he did outside of the wrestling ring. Perhaps like speaking out against the conditions that some of the wrestlers were working in, standing up for like racial discrimination. He was actually involved in a lawsuit which claimed later it was claimed that he was sort of blacklisted from professional wrestling as a result of him being involved in that. But certainly having his part to play in making things better, like professionally for the guys in the back, he certainly made an impact. So that's what I have to say about Thunderbolt Patterson. Now, for our second inductee this evening, yes, it's of course boxing legend Muhammad Ali. Now, of course, we're in the 40th anniversary, of course, coming up of WrestleMania. Muhammad Ali was there in the very first one, WrestleMania 1, outside official, if you like, special guest referee for Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Paul Orndorff and Rowdy Roddy Piper. He got involved physically as well. There was a spot involved in the corners, and it sort of developed all four guys, legal guys, or competitors were throwing lumps at each other. Then Cowboy Bob Orton jumped in the ring. Superfly Snookers on the other side jumping in. Ali's out there and he struck Piper with a right hook. The 3-time. I mean, I've got to say this as well. When obviously WWF, as it was, made a big gamble on WrestleMania and putting on a massive pay-per-view show like it did, the way that they were going to get the company bigger and better was to get living legends involved, the mainstream stars involved, and of course Muhammad Ali. You don't get bigger than the 3-time world heavyweight champion. Of course, Cyndi Lauper, Liberace was involved. There was all sorts of other people involved. It was a massive showpiece event, of course. But before WrestleMania, way back so this is in June of 1976. I found this very fascinating. If you haven't seen this, you've got to watch it. Muhammad Ali competed in a show called War of the Worlds, an exhibition match. It was boxer versus wrestler. It was Ali against WWE Hall of Famer Antonio Inoki. Took place in Tokyo, Japan. Ended in a 15-round draw in front of 32,000 fans. This was believed to be the first sort of, how can I say, legit MMA kind of fight. Obviously, a match with certain rules, an actual match as well, actual real, not scripted is what I'm trying to get at. So, yeah, a really fascinating clash of styles there. Ali was obviously largely influenced in watching people's promos in the old WWF. That's where he got his larger-than-life character from. And, of course, there was a really famous clip, I don't know if you've seen this, of him getting involved in an old Gorilla Monsoon match. I think Monsoon was in the ring against some jobber. I'm not sure who he was. Anyway, you can see Ali out in the back. He's taking off the suit, taking the tie off, jumping in the ring, got himself in a bit of a scrap with Gorilla, ended up in an airplane spin position. He sold it brilliantly. It was a lot of fun to watch. Literally did float like a butterfly, spun like a bee. There we go. Anyway, not only did Muhammad Ali have that reputation for being, the best of the best in the ring, of course, later, of course, with his boxing influence, of course, he trained Shane McMahon to be the best boxer and wrestler in the world as well. That's where he got his legendary right hooks from. That's a joke. But no, of course, being serious, look, Muhammad Ali, a great legend, a record in boxing of 56 wins and 5 losses, of course, widely regarded as the greatest of all time, and a very welcome inductee to the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2024. That is just about it from me. So if you want to add yourselves back, guys, there we go.
Nice one for that, Lee. That was
Thank you very much.
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you very much. I take a bow. Take a bow.
Is Samuel back? There he is.
Riding it back to you, Sam. I've stunned him. Look,
I'm back.
it's that Shane McMahon line that done it, wasn't it?
When the magic world of the internet starts to work again, and we're all back. Thanks for that. It saved me some time research. The two people that was inducted. I just thought it would be nice for everyone to not listen to me talk for a little bit and pass it over. I don't know if you're staying with us for the last bit, Lee.
Why not? Why not?
Or perfect. So, and basically, these are just things I collate during the week. If I see anything on social media regarding wrestling, it's a very short Any Other Business this week because I did see something that could be really interesting. I think it'd be a fantastic match in a promotion that I don't know the name of because I didn't get them quick enough. I just saw that this match had been announced. I'm going to call them by their WWE names and not by whatever they are now because that's how I see them. But in a Japanese promotion that I don't know the name of, there was a full card which I read through, but the main event was Alberto Del Rio against Dolph Ziggler. It's kind of a throwback match. I believe we'd probably seen that in WWE. Don't quote me. We probably would have done. Go on.
I believe you would have seen that. Didn't Ziggler cash in on Del Rio Money in the Bank?
This is the Raw after Mania.
Yep, I think so, sir.
Yeah.
See, it's like... this is the moment that I'd always hoped for because do you know Joe Rogan? He has that guy in the background that just
Young
Googles
Jamie
stuff for him and tells him
pull that up,
right
Jamie.
along. We've now got that. So that's wonderful. So yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. It was a match that obviously I'll try and see because it's a match that I would like to see when it's just those guys wrestling and WWE is not involved in how they wrestle, what they do, what moves they do. So it would be just quite cool to see, I think, away from the bright lights of WWE and just see it purely for a wrestling match like you get in these Japanese promotions.
It'll certainly be
They're never big on the story.
Style of wrestling, won't it? That's for sure.
Yeah. The merit from all these Japanese promotions and the wrestling in that part of the world is that their wrestling matches are just technical wrestling matches. They're matches that if you enjoy wrestling in its purest form, you can just sit and watch those matches and they are just perfect. So I think it'll be one of those ones that's really interesting to watch. Whether we'll be able to get like videos of it and stuff is obviously yet to see. I don't even know what date it is, so I'll have to go and have a little bit of a look at that. Another thing I wanted to talk about is me and Kyle were talking about it earlier, and over the last couple of weeks I've done my research into it, and it's really exciting, I think, because it leads us to matches that are going to be amazing to see. So basically what's happened is obviously over the last couple of weeks we've seen that Shayna Baszler's fighting within other promotions, smaller indie promotions. I think it was GCW actually that she was announced for. That led people to believe, right, what's going on now? Like because obviously, as we know, with AEW, TNA, those sort of promotions, their wrestlers in their contract are allowed to go and wrestle in indie promotions, not a problem at all. But as of, well, now it looks, WWE have always been very strict into saying, if you're contracted with us, you can only wrestle with us. You can't go and wrestle with other promotions. So I was doing my reading into it, and I was doing a little bit of digging. And it looks as though WWE are actually relaxing that a little bit. Triple H meaningly has wanted to give the wrestlers a chance to fight in other promotions, which I think is amazing for a wrestling fan, because it allows us to have many matches that we thought may never happen, and we might get the chance to see those now. So that was certainly exciting to find out that the WWE are kind of relaxing the contract situations on that. I think that's Lee.
And I think it also plays into the fact, if you go back to the Royal Rumble, when you had the likes of Jordan Grace come in as the TNA Knockouts champion, right, and looking really strong in the match, I don't really see any reason, if they can come up with a one-off agreement where they can come and do a massive pay-per-view event, is there anything stopping, I don't know, someone like Asuka or someone like, I don't know, Naomi going back over to TNA to fight Grace in the WWE ring, and then Grace coming back? And is there a chance that the TNA title could be defended on the WWE program?
Yeah, that's certainly an interesting concept, because I think that's what happens. Obviously, we see that happening with AEW and ROH and like New Japan and stuff. We see those three promotions all kind of work together and have each titles defended on different products, and it certainly leads to exciting matches, I think, because it leads to matches that you wouldn't think of. So they're quite a surprise, but then they actually work as well, because you then, it benefits everybody involved, doesn't it? Because if you've got two wrestlers from two different promotions, those two wrestlers will then bring a different audience to each of the products. So you'll have people that watch New Japan then go on to watch AEW. So I think it only strengthens relationships, doesn't it? And it certainly builds excitement to me that we could go back to seeing Royal Rumbles of old, where we had so many returns and they were all amazingly shocking, which is like, because I remember Devon hadn't really watched much of the modern product, and he sat down and watched the Royal Rumble with me and Kyle, and I remember Jordana Grace coming in and being like, and I went, oh my god, I was watching her the other night on a TNA pay-per-view where she won the title, and what's going on here? And it was great, because it reminded me of when I used to sit down and watch old Royal Rumbles, and there used to be all these like throwback returns or massive returns that were just amazing, and what made the Royal Rumble what it was. So it certainly excites me that we could be seeing, just a better, because I think it benefits everyone. There's not a point where it benefits one person, not the other. It benefits absolutely everyone, because as a up and coming wrestler, you could say, oh my god, I now might have the chance to have a random match on AEW or New Japan or TNA or whatever. So I think it's certainly exciting me anyway, the thought of some of the matches that we could have. But yeah, that kind of leads me to the end of my spiel. In the background, we're kind of working on what WrestleMania looks like for us as a channel. Obviously, we're going to have our predictions, which is going to be hot because on night 1 and night 2, so certainly makes it very unpredictable. And obviously, Heel Batman is now looking for revenge, so that adds a new storyline. So, yeah, he is, yeah, by the looks of it. I don't quite know how this works now, though, because I wonder whether I now ask Heel Batman for his prediction or Kyle. I'm not sure who I asked for the prediction, and whether I can be representative of Kyle or whether Kyle has to have his own predictions and Heel Batman has to have his own character. I'm not sure. We'll plot twist there. So yeah, we're certainly looking at what it kind of looks like. We're hoping to have at least one of the nights as a watch along.
I think it's 2. I think
we are trying the possibility of them both.
Sorry.
Breaking news.
Is there? Yeah. I think it's 2. I think me and Devon are gonna cover, or if anyone else wants to join us, cover the second night. Which night are you about, Sam? Is it the first night?
So I am trying for the second night because the first night I have my event.
Sweet, no worries.
The first night, as I've now had confirmed, is Devon and Kyle. And then what I'll do is you'll have seen them on the live stream, but the plan is the day after that I will watch it and then give my little review. I don't know how that'll look, whether it'll just be me or whether it would be some of the others. But we'll work that out at a later date, and then I shall, fingers crossed, be with everyone for the second night. Which we I think it'll be our first proper watch along since we did our first ever one on Crown Jewel, which seems like an age ago now. It wasn't that long ago, but it seems like an age. Yeah, that was. I think that was the first live stream on this channel, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah, I'll just check. Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
LA Knight and Roman, wasn't it?
So,
yeah, rough.
It was. Yeah.
Jumping.
We have another new
My
name.
God. There's a reference for you, everybody.
Yeah, it was the first live stream. Yeah, crazy.
Yep.
On the 4th of November. Wow. Sam, you still with us?
Feels like we need to just crank him along a little bit.
Oh no.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching WrestleDawgs tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching the show. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do that right now. And make sure you sign up to the Patreon, which normally is up above where Sam's head is, but it's sort of covered up. But I think it's patreon.com/WrestleDawgs.
There it is. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, he's back. He's back.
Yes, no. That looks like a circle of doom to me.
No.
Samuel?
Hello, is this on?
It was going. It was going so well, and then came on, and that's the reason my stream went off. He overtook the stream and made my internet go really bad. I'm just joking. Thanks for tuning in.
Maybe it was all part of a master plan.
Maybe,
Did you like the way I went
maybe
presenter
it was
mode,
just just in case. So, as I always do at this kind of time of the show, this is kind of Carl's bit of the show where I could basically say it for him, but I would like to pass him over because basically normally what he tells us is he's got loads of videos in the works, but he can't tell you what they are. So, yeah.
I'll tell you some information today. I'll give away some information. I've got a video in the works for. Let me just check which one I'm going for next. WrestleMania matches that should have happened but didn't. So think about those, and we'll see if they come up.
Ooh.
Good
There's
one.
quite a few, but we're going to try and stick to
That's a good one.
10, probably.
That's a unique number for a list. I tell you, I don't know where you got that.
Oh,
idea
yeah. Oh, and Heel Batman's got some merch coming as well, boys. So watch out for that as well.
from. Make sure no one comes in and robs him. That's it.
Just going to break my bank account for his merch.
I don't know. I don't know if my internet.
What was that, Sam?
DJ Sam in the house. Wiggle, wiggle. Word life. This is basically like a
yeah, I think my internet.
He's bringing him back by doing that.
I've been good. Yeah.
Wait, Jumping Jeff Farmer
Before
hasn't
I
seen
go,
Heel Batman
I'm
yet.
looking
Give me a second.
Oh my gosh. Professional guys. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
All right, he's here
these
to
are
end
the
it
part
off.
of the stream that people want to see.
Just pretend nothing happened. Just crack on. It's all right.
So lastly, before I end this stream and before my internet's clearly had enough now. It said that I've been really good for an hour and 10 minutes. So I would like to thank
Partial bedtime, Sam.
everybody. We've hit.
He said, "I'd like to thank Posh," and then so blame that on me then for his internet going down.
Before my internet goes bad again.
It's too late for that, Sam. If you want me to help, I'll do it.
So, no. So before we go off, I just wanted to say we've reached another milestone. It's gone from 1,000 to 1.1. That was really cool because there was that kind of moment where
I could tell you the exact number. I could tell the exact number, boys. Give me a second. It is 1,139 subscribers. We're one off 1,140, boys. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Sorry, Sam.
Jumping Jeff has basically made heel Batman really small because he said maybe he'll fight crime, maybe he'll have a coffee and a nap.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jumping Jeff. I appreciate that.
And,
1,140 boys.
and that you subscribe.
There you go.
We appreciate
Nice.
you jumping in.
Jumping in. Very good.
Whee!
I like that.
So yeah, before my internet goes off again and Lee has to crank me back into picture. It's been really good tonight. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks for everyone that's tuned in. And yeah, look out for the next video. The last one is really good. I really enjoyed it. It was about Cactus Jack and his extreme side. So yeah, that was one I really enjoyed. So go check that out if you haven't. And yeah,
Have a nice day.
that's about it. Just before I go off, because obviously you know who me and Carl are, but you might not know who Posh and Lee are. Well, you do because they've been on a few times now. But I'll give you your little minutes of fame, whichever way around you want to do it.
I'll go first. So you can find me on Twitter at PoshBertie. My Instagram is at BertieOneless. And I also run Gooner Gatherings Instagram account. And I'm sure Mr. Meadows here will tell you more about our YouTube channel.
Thank you very much, Posh Bertie. Yes, you can find me at Goonerly Meet, and you can find us at Gooner Gathering. Of course, Gooner Gathering, we are an Arsenal fan channel, family friendly most of the time. And of course, this fine gentleman is also in a parallel universe, somehow the Arsenal manager as well. And he doesn't rage quit or anything. It's amazing. So, yeah, please come over. If you've got over 1,000 over here at Wrestle Dogs, well, go and give us a look as well. We know it's a free subscribe. Please, do us a favour. Nice one. And it's been a pleasure and a joy to be on stream with you guys tonight. It's been a blast. So, cheers.
Thank you, boys. Thank you very much.
What can we say? But you're welcome.
You've heard enough of me for the last hour.
Thing is, he has to be one that has to end the stream. This is the problem.
Again?
Yeah.
Thanks all for tuning in. Thanks everybody that's joined us. And yeah.